And welcome back to WAAGH Tactics in our second ever paint competition community stream. So our community streams have developed and evolved into paint competitions where every month we put up a model forward that we want to see get painted up. And then at the end of the month, we pick a winner and we give them a set of dice. So even if you're not a winner, we like to show all of the people who were entries into this. So welcome to our second one ever. So this is our way to give back and involve in the community. It's not always about the meta and it's not about the competition and the list and all that stuff becomes a drag to talk about. So there's a way to break up the monotony and just get back to the basics and the hobbies. Of course, we can answer any questions and get involved with anything based at the game as a whole as we go through this. But most of our comments and everything will be about painting or the models that we're looking forward here, right? And if you guys aren't familiar, this is David, my cousin, co-founder of WAAGH Tactics. And he's a Space Wolf main, so here's why these will always be our picture. So David, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Excited to share these Deff Dreads. A lot of cool models, a lot of good paint jobs.
Yeah, shout out to Jamie Schoolcraft. And what the cereal is definitely not soup, or is that what's going on here?
I think that's what he's referencing.
Yeah, I think that's the referencing. Thank you. I appreciate it. And shout out to all you guys. Whoa, for all you gets. Nice to see y'all. Everybody's back in here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everyone. Let's go. Oh, Mr. Two's happy to see you, David. Mr. Two's happy to see you.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And shout out to Aaron for 5 WAAGH Tactic gifted memberships. Whoa, let's go. And I know some people have gotten actually their raffle prizes from that. Yeah, shout out to all these add up, dude. All these add up and they go somewhere to good causes and good gets. Check them out in the Discord to anybody who did that. So shout out to you, Aaron. I appreciate you get. And I got all those Ludas from you. We're gonna get those Ludas all set up and ready to go so I can do some DACA spamming. Right. And then shout out to eCup. Let's go, boy. Long time right there, dude. Always messing up his name for the first 35 minutes of every stream. Love it, dude. Love it. I appreciate you. Shout out to eCup. I appreciate you get. Whoa, let's go. I'm happy to see you guys. So should we do this first?
Sure, we can do it.
So actually, like always, speaking of the paint competition, let's give a shout out to today's sponsor, Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice was the only company that was able to get us our set of dice, so we're really happy to be set up with them, and I actually do recommend them. Last RTT I went to, I took some Baron of Dice out there, and I appreciated them. Only one set was needed, and they didn't spin and roll too much, as I had to grab Revolution ones, but these Orc Ludas are dope too, and these Orc Luda ones are going to be the ones that we are actually raffling off today in today's competition, so shout out to Baron of Dice. Now, let's look at the first Deff Dread. Dang.
It's hot.
Dang. I wanted to start off with hot. I just wanted to start off with this one hot right off the bat. You get. I know people appreciate this. I know it's not necessary. It's a paint competition, but of course everybody knows a beautiful Kitbash goes a long way in the heart of an orc boss. So right here you can see this person took. Those are clearly orc trucks. You didn't fool nobody with them orc truck legs. But those orc trucks right there holding up the bottom of the Deff Dread is freaking hilarious. It makes up for that old animation from what's it called? Total War, from Warhammer Total War, where there has a really animation of a Deff Dread that's like wobbling.
Oh, really?
because Deff Dreads have short stubby legs. And this just takes away all of that because it's just straight up only tires involved in this one.
I wonder how many times his Deff Dread's fallen forward or backwards.
Yeah, there has to be some kind of leg or something for that to get back up, like another one of the arms is specifically designed to get you off the ground. And then the other Deff Dread, that one looks like it has more like a roller. Yeah. But I love this one. And I like that they still involve the old-fashioned checker pattern. Everybody knows checker pattern goes synonymous with orcs, goths, everything like that. Orcs just love the checker pattern. Kind of the representation of Gork and more black and white things, it kind of goes with that. And you can see they have the white pattern on one of them, and then they have the black pattern on the other one. So they did go for a bit of difference. It's like a yin and yang here, two different Deff Dreads, even though they both got their own sick customization to them. So shout out to this get. What do you think, David, about this one? What are they running flamers? What is that? The double flamers on this one? I mean, I know the gear doesn't matter necessarily,
yeah,
but
it's double flamers on the one on both of them. Yeah.
on both of them, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
2, 3, double. I know when I was one of those people when I first got mine, I had no idea what to put on them, so sometimes I just left the shooters on, or I put double, one of each different gun. Because at first, when you get started, you think, man, if I have a bunch of different weapons, it's actually better because I have more variety, and then you realize it's just more time. You take evolving, rolling different profiles. So shout out to Garrick. He calls him here's one wheel Wheezy and Tony 2 times. That's what he called these 2 Deff Dreads. So shout out to Garrick for his pink Deff Dreads. Then we have another Deff Dread, and this Dread, guys, that wasn't me who took the picture. Set him up here in this pose. So my boy Slapshot. Here's his Deff Dread. I wonder, is that base too small, or is the Deff Dread going just all over the place? I think he just chose to, guys, because he put a couple pictures in here where he's just taking a picture of Slap. Dude, he has a great name. Slap Shop is a great name for his name, dude, because that's how he's taking these pictures. They're like on the move at an angle, like, you know, it's going right in there. So
I don't know, man. That looks like a 32 mil base to me.
No, it's not.
It's small.
Yeah. And Jank the Tank nailed it. He said, honestly, all these entries go all around or bangers. It's true. A lot of these were really, really good as we start getting into the high end, deep part of them too. I was like, oh man, hard to pick distinctions here, man. It gets really, this is really, really close. It yanks at my heartstrings. This one did too. So it's my boy Slapshop here. I like this one. Well, what do you appreciate? What stands out?
Definitely like the pose you put him in. Then that kind of adds to it. It allows you to see all the extra work he put in the details around the Deff Dread.
And I think that is representative of orcs. Whenever you think of a Deff Dread or you've seen them in any animations from video games or art or anything, they are kind of silly. Like they're silly death machines where you look at them and you're like, how is that even working? And then it runs you down and cuts you in half and everything like that. And this is kind of like an embodiment of that, where this is kind of like running at you in a toddler form with its arms up and shoving, and you're like, is this threatening? And then boom, it just destroys you. So yeah, and that's funny, Jank. Yeah, that is a similar pose to the year models. We have your models on here too. I do like how they kept it bright. They put red and white. I like when people put the red and white into their models. Not always the most common thing you see because on orcs, because when you think of white, you think it's a little too clean. Some people stay away from that, but I really like it. The blue banner sticks out to me, right? I don't know if there's other people in here that they're like, when they see their clan, they have to put it synonymous with their clan, like a clan. Sorry, they put it synonymous with the army, their collection as a whole. So did he have like, this is my scheme and this is my desk all banner? I don't know. I mean, am I thinking too hard about it? I don't know. Maybe you just pick that color. But let me know with you guys. Do you guys put like a clan to identify with your color scheme, or is your color scheme the identification of the clan? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like to put a little homage to the clan that I'm trying to represent in my models, even if it's just like for my space was a shoulder pauldron.
Man, I have to think about it a little longer, but my scheme, guys, is like a purplish, like blue, a little bit rustic look. So yeah, I have to think about what clan am I in love with. But shout out to Slapshot for his Deff Dread entry. And then right here we have this, and just so you know, this Deff Dread, you guys, you know why I relate to this one? This get right here has something that I think a lot of us can relate to when we first start off. Our hand is destroyed on the left guy at his left hand where it's actually broke, with the claws broken off.
Oh, there's supposed to be
that's like the most common. I swear, guys, several of my Deff Dreads have that or do have that broken off claw, and I just fix it as I start to use them again. So I don't know. Props to this get. This is Mad Doc centric. Yeah, shout out to you just for being real right here. And he's like, I'm gonna put this model in the competition. It's missing a hand, but you know, you guys can relate to this messing hand. You know, when you're moving stuff around and you're moving boxes and models, and you're picking up your army a lot. That Deff Dread little breaks his wrist off like. So I've had that one break so many times, dude. So many times. I don't know. Do you does Space Marines have this problem?
No, not really, unless they're jumping off a rock or something.
Okay.
But I really experienced that with my AdMech. They got a lot of fragile, protruding parts that overhang the base.
AdMech. Remember you had them in foam when you were taking them to Vegas too?
I had them in magnets actually for Vegas, but even still, just taking them off and transporting them and playing 6 rounds, like I lost a lot of little details.
One of my planes broke in Vegas. One of my Dev Killer Wartrike's claw, because you hold it like this, snapped off, and I lost it forever somewhere. Even though I took so much care, parts of his just straight up broke. Yeah. Rock Lobster says mine broke his claw at my game last week. Aaron, relatable. Both my Deff Dreads missing that claw. Yeah, that was the best part about this picture, Mad Dog. So shout out to Mad Dog's paint competition entry. Love the blue. I actually do like blue on Deff Dread. Relatable to the metallic alloy you got going on there. Classic style look, but really hit a soft spot for me because you have that broken Deff Dread claw that a lot of us do. So shout out to that broken Deff Dread claw. Then we move on to another entry. And it takes me a second, guys, to correlate the names here to exactly who it was that did this one. But I like to give people the shout outs accurately if I can. David, what do you think?
It might just be the lighting, but the armor looks very clean and shiny.
Okay, this is my boy, Fabs. All right, Fabs, because you won the last paint competition, I don't feel bad being critical of you, but I'm going to be critical of you, Mr. Master Painter Jedi. Your picture is too far, and that's why that was the note I had for myself here that I wanted to say is that your models are excellent. This paint job's excellent. Like David said, it's very clean. But when I click on the picture myself from my side of the view, there's a lot of spacing and a lot of distance, and I think you did yourself a little bit of a disservice here because there's a lot of detail here that if I take the picture and put it somewhere else and zoom in and do other stuff, I can see a lot of like nice little details you did. But as a whole, as the picture from here, you're a little too far, my friend. And I think it's good that I point this out as someone who Fabs is a winner. So he's winner of our last paint competition. So this is actually going to be critical of him at all. This is so I can give an example of future entries that if you guys enter, be sure to try to get a little bit closer. You can send more pictures than just 3 or 4 sometimes, but I usually only pick about 2 or 3 of the pictures anyways. But the point is, I'll pick the ones that give, in my opinion, the best all-around look to your model or give the most attention to detail in the smallest amount of pictures. So with that being said, this Deff Dread's sick, very clean, like David said, and actually does have really good attention to details on the gears and gizmos. And on the pipings, he has checker patterns on some of the stuff. He has little metal plates that are rusted. He has a nice blood look without looking overly blooded or fake cartoonish. That's what I appreciate
the most. It's very easy to overdo it with the blood.
Yeah.
He's got just the right amount.
Also, the white face. I really love the white face on any Deff Dread that can pull that off. That gives it like that serial killer kind of look where everything's cartoonish and in your face and moving around in a silly, rusty manner, and then the face is just a dead white. Yeah. With that or killy face. So shout out to my boy Fabs Prickles. He was the last month's paint competition winner for his sick war boss. So if you haven't seen that, check that one out. But his Deff Dread looks beautiful, immaculate. I'm really interested in how your whole army would look. The very cool, nice metallic look. I don't know how you're getting the metallic look on there. Is it just me or what is that like?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's like a metallic look. I don't know what that is, Prickles.
It's like somehow he's blending the black with some other color.
So I would say, and I think if you listen to my magnificent first advice, into closer pictures, I could kind of emphasize on what I'm talking about here. But it looks like you have a natural shine to the blue, which is kind of different to orange, right? Because then you think about more dusty and rustic. But all in all, that looks really freaking cool, and I want to know how you did that. So maybe you can let us know. Oh, and you're in the chat. He says, I'm about a minute behind live, but happy to be critical. I left it too late and was caught up at work. Couldn't get any more pictures. Okay, cool. Well, next time, maybe you could just show them for me. Let me see how that looks close up. What? The sick entry looks really good, man. I love the look. Great job as always. And shout out to my boy Fabs Prickles. Glad you're here. Now we moved on to another entry. Let me find out this good as well. And David, what you think? You start off.
Yeah, so first thing that pops out is obviously that green. So it just sticks out. I wonder if it glows in the dark. Like that's how bright it is.
Yeah, he says the great green culture colors. That's what he calls it soon. And this is the Crumpy Orc. That's what it is. That's he called. That's his Discord name. I think he changed his name from someone else he used to be in Discord. But yeah, you know what? He right here. You can see he's killing the Tyranid. Work in progress. I'll say this is a little bit of. I'm getting a little bit of hint of it's still a work in progress, because of the Tyranid. So even if it's just the base, but when you think of how this kind of looks as a whole, when you would have like a whole army of this, several Deff Dreads, let's say battle wagons, buggies, trucks, and they all have like really bright highlights of green like this throughout the army. That gives the army its own green tide kind of neon, like our boy Murder said, look to the army, and I really like that. Even though I do like a dark look as well behind it, maybe a tad more dark than I'd like to see.
Yeah, staying away from the details of the model.
Just a bit. But like I said, I think it's a work in progress. So I think some dry brushing or some little things here could definitely make up for that, because the real focus you can tell he's trying to do is brightness in these areas where he wants your attention, right. And then he keeps the rest of it kind of dark, gloomy. So I actually like that as a theme. Army wide, that would look really sick. So shout out to the Great Green Culture colors, because that's his clan culture. His clan culture is the green color. So as an identifier, I think that's really sick. So shout out to you, dude, because I like that. And I like when you see how this would look army wide, right? You have a wagon next to this, couple of Deff Dreads, a group of killer cans, right? It would look really, really cool. Let me see. Do I even have a Model S6? I have a crappy killer can here that's a work in progress. But see, it's a similar idea where it's just green, right? This is my basic killer can. What did our Prickle say? He said, keen to try chipping, etc. Okay. I did try it originally, but that was terrible, so I gave up. Yeah, chipping is one of those things where you're a little risky, right? Yeah. Like when people actually melt their model, right? When you see people melt their model and they're like, this is actual melted damage. I'm like, dang, okay, you fiend. I feel you on that. So shout out to our boy, the Crumpy Orc. Now we move on to one of David's personal little faves, since we said he's an AdMac boy.
Yeah, this one hits me right in the heart. We got what it looks like an Onager Doomcrawler, although the scaling looks a little off in the picture. I'm not sure if it's just how he took the picture, but Onagers are like on 120 something millimeter base.
So this is our boy Wapo. Right, so our boy Wapo, let us know, respond, because you know you involved. Shout out for winning, getting your prize, by the way, in the raffle. But yeah, David wants to know, is this a print or what? Because this looks pretty wild, and he thinks an Onager is small or a little bit too big for this. I think that's sick nonetheless, whether it's a print or it's a Kitbash. It looks sick. The arm coming off the side, that kind of looks like a battle wagon arm, to be honest. Like he just took the grabbing claw from a battle wagon. So he did take his own, like, not too many bits from AdMac, but that worked out so good, dude. This looks so cool. You can run this as like the one with custom Mega Blaster, and then like one single claw, and it kind of pulls it off. So he said it's not a print, it's a Kitbash. So yeah, so it is an actual Onager than Wapo. Okay, David wasn't sure. I think that looks sick. If this was a Kitbash competition for Deff Dread, this would have won. All right, creative. Just saying, there's other sick ones, but this one would have won for how this looks exactly how you would think a orc would make an Onager Doomcrawler look once he got his hand on it, like perfectly. He would just keep the guns looking sick, add a weird orky face to it, give it something to crump people with, and
throw
then
a grot in there.
Keep the arms nice and short, the legs nice and short. Boom, nice and clean. So shout out to WAAAGH for that one, because that one came out really good. Kind of exactly what you want to see when you see an orc Kitbash put together. Plus, I really like yellow. I always say that all the time. You guys, I see more and more of these yellows. You're not going to get favoritism from me from that. All right, even though you might. But you know, it's to me, it's just sick when you see a nice yellow look to it, and then that's slowly been dwindled down over time from orc players. Hard to pull off at the highest levels, but I really love to see it. I think it was on. What's my boy's name? What's that British guy's name? Gosh, I remember the brain fart. Winter's SEO, where Winter's SEO was going against this guy Paul something, and Paul brings his Bad Moons army when I first started 40K, and it was all yellow, and I was like, dude, that looks sick. And ever since then is when I was like, yellow, our orc armies look freaking awesome. So I tried a little bit myself, and I was like, oh no, this is too much painting, too hard. This is too much work for me. But shout out to WAPO for the awesome Kitbash and the yellow paint. What happened, David?
Good point by Aaron.
What happened?
The red orc logo.
Yeah, the red orc logo is a perfect chef kiss. I like that, dude. Good call out. Good call out. Shout out to Jay for the whoa hobby stream. Of course, we got to get that hobby stream in the month, dude. It's like doing your cardio. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes some people, they just want to play the game and get their gray models in and whatever. And some people are like marathon runners where they think that running is the best part of everything, right? So it's like, some people, you guys got to get out there, get involved in painting. Hopefully this helps you get excited for it, see some things work out, see that you don't have to be Golden Demons level painter for us to appreciate you and what you do, but just getting stuck in and doing it is a part of the hobby and experience as a whole, and we can appreciate all of that too. It's not just about playing the deadliest list or winning all the time. And for some people, sorry, third. But
I was gonna say, I think there's no better feeling than having a fully painted army on the table.
Oh, once I did that, dude, there was no changing, and I never wanted to do a not fully painted army ever again.
Yeah, that feels better than winning to me.
Right? To an extent, right? If you're all gray, but you're like, yeah, dude, I chased that meta hard, and the other guy's like, yeah, but I put this all together and it's mine and it looks beautiful. It's like, all right, yeah, that's better. But no, shout out to you. It's true. And let's do another one of these. So we have another classic Deff Dread. This one reminds me of one of my first ones as well. My boy, this looks kind of like a Death Skull kind of theme. Another one, I would say it's a work in progress. You can tell from the base, one of the legs, stuff like that. I would say you got a good foundation here. Stick to some of the weathering and some of the complementary colors that you've seen other people put on there, or metallics people put in there. You can see you'll see other good blues that you can maybe go similar to. Which one of my gets in here? Put this one up. But shout outs for the entry of the other blue one. Hey, at least your claws are not snapped off, right? So if anything, you're looking too pristine with your clean one. This is Buck. Is my boy Buck? What? Yeah. My boy Buck. All right. So shout out to my boy Buck. Like I said, there's a lot of the blue ones in here. You got a good start going to you. Thanks for the entry. I appreciate you and you caught both of your claws. So you're already ahead of the game right there. Now we move on to my boy. How is that, David?
Sactomork? No, Sactomork.
Sactomork. That's what we're calling you. Eric. All right, Eric. So here's the next entry is our boy Eric with a very sleek looking yellow Deff Dread. Right here, you can see he has the arms nice and close together, so they're not getting in the way of each other. One of them almost looks like it's holding the other. So the right arm almost looks like it's holding the bottom left arm. I think he probably just did that for space purpose too, just because sometimes the Deff Dread arms just get so much in the way, dude.
Maybe he's trying to prevent it from breaking off.
Or maybe he's just making right, or maybe breaking off like the other ones, or he's making sure he can actually get to base with people. That's another one right there that people just sometimes you can't do. And then his actual shooting weapon, is that another burner? It looks like another burner to me. So shout out to that. Beautiful yellow scheme. Like I said, he pulls off that it's a bit dirty, a bit oily and greasy. On the bottom of it, though, look at the bottom of that. He has some spill from the fluids from underneath it, almost like a green, crazy looking coolant. He has mushrooms growing at the bottom of the Deff Dread's feet. He has the grot on top of that, looking all like thoughtful and whoa. What's he doing with his hand right there? Is he flicking us off?
That's what I think so.
I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, I think he made the most out of using so much yellow. Like, it works, and he picked all the right spots to just complement it with that red. Just came all together really well.
It's hard to pull off, dude, because when I try to do this, I look like cartoon. Like they came out very cartoonish to me. Like putting lipstick on a pig or something. It just didn't work out. But when people can actually make it work out, it looks sick. I like the green you have on that grot too. The grot on top. He has the bullet. Look at that shoulder pauldron on the right. How he has the bullet wounds in there, where it looks like some slugger shots got stuck into there. Still pulls off the classic checker look right here in the top of his on the top of his armor and along his head. right? So the fact that it looks like it's work that's done over work, like maybe this was a Goff's one or whatever it may be, and then he some bad moons got a hold of it and started to kind of tune it up, make it look good. Very, very look. And he said, being colorblind makes this part of the hobby a bit harder, but still fun. Let's go, Devin. I appreciate you. Yeah, dude. I mean, and you know, a lot of guys are generally colorblind. I mean, that's something I learned in the military too, right? We all take that test. So don't feel shy about that, dude. Nothing to be ashamed of at all. And it probably does make it a bit funny because you're like, this looks sick. And then you're like, I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. What you, I don't know what you see, but I see something totally different. It looks sick to me. Then we have Wapo. It was for Kitbash points, as I'm not the greatest painter. You know what, dude? And those are different skill trees, right? Some people are excellent kit bashers. Some people are excellent painters. We can't be all those things, dude. And I'm not a great painter either, so I appreciate all of it. I'm living vicariously through you guys.
Yeah, Jamie Schoolcraft says, loving the motivation you gave me to get at it and paint.
For sure, dude. Me and David were. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. Me and David were the guys that showed up to the shop with gray models. Straight up, we showed up to the shop with gray models sometimes, guys, and we were just like, "Who wants to lose some teeth?" Ooh, we just get in there. Now, I mean, we weren't playing meta armies or anything. Like I was running like all orc boys with gas, just like a Neanderthal.
Yeah, I started out with all infantry too.
Yeah,
for my Space Wolves.
But we showed up with them gray infantry, like what's up, trying to beat up everybody at local shops. And then once we started painting, dude, we never wanted to do it anymore. Like I won't even take one unpainted model to like an RTT, even if it's like people I know or something I'm not even taking serious. I could take a totally meme list and I'll still paint every single model on that meme list. So
yeah, the hilarious part for me was when we first started, I bought like over $100 worth of paint from the shop,
dude, right?
And then I painted my first model. I'm like, yeah, this thing for me. let's just play a game.
There's dude, all right. Bought so many paints when we first started, didn't do any of the painting.
That was the worst mistake.
I've so
buying
many
layers and contrast and thinking, yeah, I'm gonna be able to do all this right off the bat.
And then I just totally do nothing. I barely get it primed, and then I have like $100, $150 worth of just dry clay paint, you know, because it changes. Because I was trying to do something like my boy right here, and I just couldn't do it. So shout out to our Eric for his sick Deff Dread. Then we have, of course, my boy Jank the Tank. My boy Jank the Tank with this Deff Dread right here. It's nice seeing you, Deff Dread. Nice seeing you, Jank, at the last event I went to. And you're doing good with that nice Cult of Speed army. But it's nice to see you got your Deff Dread up on here. Still have time to do your Deff Dread, even though I knew you're doing your Cult of Speed, Blood Axe kind of look and everything like that. He said,
yeah, I'm wondering how he got that face with the green. Like what's underneath it to give it that metallic kind of shiny look.
He said it's just about being happy and full of blood. His idea behind his Kitbash and this theme when we were talking this Discord was that it's supposed to be like it's kind of jolly and grinning and a bloody Deff Dread. And I think you did a good job with that. And that's something that we actually spoke about earlier in the stream, that's pretty orky too. You know, that the Deff Dreads are known to be kind of silly. If you've ever seen like a animation of a Deff Dread, it always comes off as quite a bit silly. And Orc Boy says, thanks for the shout out. I should probably change my username for these shout outs. Okay, so you knew what I was avoiding. Thanks for that. Jay says it takes a lot of work to get every model painted on the table. Every marathon finisher is a winner. Yeah, exactly, dude, right? Some people see painting as doing the cardio, you're forced to do it. And it takes time. You do it a little bit at a time, and then some people see doing your whole big project, your whole collection, as the whole marathon that you're working towards and getting it done. And you know, I think it's nice when you can appreciate both aspects. Now that I'm further along and more mature in my hobbying, I would say I like to actually have my stuff painted and done, and I kind of look forward to it sometimes, even though I'm a slow builder, right? So shout out to my boy Jank for his Deff Dread. Then David.
Oh, we got. Pull this guy up. Got a red schemed Deff Dread here.
Super uncommon.
Yeah, that's
super uncommon.
I mean, it looks good. He's making it work.
Well, we did have the one earlier that had some red too, so I guess it's not that super uncommon.
Well,
But it's
as a primary color, though,
yeah.
Like,
This is another great name that we're not accustomed to say. White Fang 919.
white butt.
White butt. White butt's Deff Dread. Same thing I'm gonna say, like I said before. Love the white classic face. Whenever you see the white classic face with like the green eye, really love that. I think it could use some like everybody likes to say, Nolan oil. It could use some oiling, some weathering, maybe some damage paint chippage to it. I think it has a good foundation. Nothing wrong with it at all when it comes to that.
That's gonna give it some depth.
Yeah.
Instead of it being look like a 2D painting.
Yeah, and I think that's how they all kind of start, right? You had to have this, and you start bringing it down. Then you go back and you start adding layers to something, edges, dry brushes, whatever you need to do to kind of highlight your favorite parts. But these are all good fundamentals where you pick your colors, the pipings being yellow and green, while your actual metal is red, and then kind of some base of straight up gray color. Those are all good.
Yeah, his
Great
exhaust look good
fundamentals.
too.
Yeah, fundamental exhaust color is good. You'll build up from this, and it'll be really good. But thanks for the entry anyways, and that's why I wanted to show it, because it's a good work in progress, and it shows other people, dude, even this is an excellent starting point. Very clean, but no mistakes going on. You can see that are just like very obvious. Putting this on the table would feel really good. If you go to an RTT, you wouldn't be embarrassed at all. And then anything beyond this is just starting to look beautiful, and then it becomes art.
That's a clean base too.
Yeah, very clean base.
He cleaned up the rim of it.
Way better than mine. I would say that my base be looking funky. So shout out to my boy White Butt. Now we move on to another one. This is, I think, my boy the Mountain Man. And the Mountain Man, I think that he did this last time. His paint. That's not your paint color. Sorry,
he's got like a professional studio.
Yeah, his professional studio or something for his coloring, for his pictures. That always just gets me. It's the Green Mountain Boy, and this is just one picture, guys. If you're wondering why I didn't break this down, it's just one collage of multiple pictures. Immaculate, beautiful base right there. Give me like a Lord of the Rings vibe to it, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
Like he's wandering the fields with the Fellowship. But as for the Deff Dread, I don't know if this is a print or, because I don't think he said this is a submission for my paint competition. He said he got a new light for this one. All right, so I think this is better lighting than last time. Last time you were a little too bright, right? Was it?
Yeah.
But as for the model, that model looks sick. I don't know if that's a third-party model. I don't think that's a Mech Dread, right? But that basing is freaking crazy. The two different color schemes is different. I think that would look really cool if it came out of like a weapon or an exhaust somehow. The red side had like a Melta arm or a custom booster blaster kind of arm. And then that's where the red kind of originated off and became yellow. So this color to pull off scheme is very hard, and I really like it. But I think I like it a little more when it comes off of a weapon, and then you see where the kind of two color system's coming from. David, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I like how he juxtaposed the two colors on different sides. Like,
yeah,
it's a different look.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
And like you said, the paint competition, the painting is professional. Though I do wonder if it is a work in progress because the weapon's on top, right? You see, they kind of look like they're just straight up black. But yeah, overall the picture is definitely better, dude. So shout out to you and the Green Mountain Boy for the professional basing here. Who else is going on? He said, I'll leave this on for a second. He goes, I'll work on the weathering, says the Orc Boy. Aaron Goff checkers are crisp. Yeah, that Walker Dread. We went over yours slap shot earlier. Zach Shock, the struggle is real. I'm shade blind in the yellow spectrum. I have to use a blue or a red backdrop when painting silver or gold. Oh goodness. Damn. Thank God. Thank the Lord for my not having those issues, but I'm glad you found a way to work around it, dude. You do a great job with working around that. And this is food for thought. I didn't even think about having to use like a backdrop to be able to see certain colors. That's pretty crazy. Now I move on to something I hope everybody can see, a very yellow Deff Dread with a very green face. Now, before I say who this reminded me of, what does this remind you of? Come on, guys. Any remind you of any, you know, movies, characters, carries, not anything like that?
I think I know who you're talking about now.
What?
Talking about the
We're gonna
mask.
say the mask.
The
Yeah. So yeah, my boy right here, dude. So shout out to the green Deff Dread with the super green face. This right away just shout out to me is kind of reminded me of the mask, and this is JS Precision. So I really like this one. I thought it was cool. And normally I don't give other pictures to people for theirs. This one got another picture because I thought it was a very out of the box scheme, very different to go so bright yellow and then go for the mask face, very
Right.
green like that. And I thought it just took a bit harder to see the detail you put into the face. So I wanted to zoom in on that because you can see you gave it some shading on there. The triple big shooters is kind of hilarious, guys, right? Or those, oh no, those are two flamers on the bottom, and then that's a big shooter. But you hardly ever see like actual triple of the proper weapon you want to see. Kind of looks like he's glocking that out, like, what's up, dog life, homie? And then so I really liked how this one was a little bit set up like that. David, what do you think?
I like it more that you drew that.
Oh, look at
the
the okay, people knew. All right, people in the chat, they kind of got it. People started to write the mask. Yeah.
I'm thinking of Corona lime.
What?
Murda.
What do
I
you
think of Corona with a lime.
Oh, shut up, dude. That was a good one too. That's how you know he lives near us in our area, right?
Yeah.
So he said, shout out to Henrietta. Is that their name? Henrietta. Been out of commission, but the glasses come on Monday, painting like a green boy. What glasses?
She either means prescription glasses or the magnifying glasses to really get into
labor on that. Well, I'm glad you're back and you're gonna get stuck in like a proper lad. And then, oh yes, murder right here said, I think it was a Corona and lime, the mask, a beer. That's a hot chocolate scheme. You guys got that shit, dude. It was definitely the mask. Thank you for all those who called on to that. But this is really sick. Love this.
Someone said Forrest Gump.
Wait, who said that? Hold on.
Soup.
Who said that? Forrest Soup, you're getting banned. What is this? Soup, you getting banned. What are you talking about Forrest Gump like that for, dude? I'm just kidding, buddy. Yeah, but I really like this one. It was really different, out of the box. Keep working. I would say give it a little bit weathering, some little bit more depth on the arms. If you can get some damage to that yellow and dirt, get a little tad dirty, bring the tone down a little bit, right? You want to bring it down just a tad bit. Other than that, I love it. Shout out to the green face for that. Nice that you did the bolts on there, and the bone that you did to those teeth look immaculate. So shout out to that. Oh, and we have a super chat from David. For David, is that
been out of commission, but the glasses are coming in on Monday. I be a mech.
Whoa, for 10 euros. Super chat. We appreciate that. I'm glad you're back. You're going to get back in commission and get those glasses up. It's funny because my glasses actually broke and I had to get some frames. So that was actually, remember, I showed up to work with taper on my glasses, and David's like, yeah, it's like that. I'm like, it's like that, dude. So
well, you chose like a bright red tape too.
Yeah.
hard not to notice.
Yeah, I had a bright red duct tape. Yeah. But thanks, Henrietta. I appreciate you. Shout out for the 10 euros. Very generous of you. And I'm glad you back in commission and got your glasses fixed, because I know I was out here getting lost with my glasses too. Very, very generous of you. And so we move on to a second edition Deff Dread. So right here we have a second edition Deff Dread that was entered into the paint competition by my boy David. What was that? This one? David, read it. Schmalls, right? Okay, Schmalls. Schmalls, I remember, got second place in the last competition. He had the Pimp War Boss.
Oh, that
was so he had the Pimp War Boss. I didn't forget you. You see, and I don't forget you. Actually, I think it's Paint War Boss is his Discord picture now. So he said, got my second edition Dreadnought done. Been sitting on the shelf for 25 years. Looks better now, even without the pimp teal and, and leopard spots. So he actually, if you look in our Discord, he has more pictures. He has a video of it going around and about, but these are the two best pictures I wanted to pull up there. He has these grots that are on the bottom of it that I thought was really sick. And then he has the grots in the front working on his front leg and such like that. So really, really sick how he got the grots really involved. Putting a banner on a Deff Dread, I think, is something that's underappreciated and undervalued right now that people haven't been doing, right? Nobody really does it anymore, right? Where they're like, here we go, banner on my Deff Dread. So, you know, I want to bring a shout out to the banners on Dreads, but also I don't want to feel bad for all the banners that are going to break when people are trying to transport their Dreads
I
around.
think that's the main reason people stay away from
Yeah,
them.
they stop doing that because they're like, this keeps snapping. But oh yeah, and shout out to all the Deff Dreads in chat. Whoa, to all the Deff Dreads in chat. To Aaron, thank you. Pyro Bubbles, Murder, let's go. That's what I'd love to see. Banners love to break. Yes, they do, right? Who else has their knob with wall banner that they broke and then they had to pin it to fix it? But yeah, with this one, I love the old school banner with the skull, and then he has an eye patch through it. Kind of still a little cartoonish and fun. He did a great job. Really good the attention to detail on the metal and the bolts, and then the distorted checkered pattern on the chest, and then red arms, but then you have the weapons look distinguished as well with their own kind of rust look. The funny kind of those pimp pants that you have on your grots that I still noticed. You still couldn't help but put those on there, so shout out to you. Very lovely Deff Dread you have here. And I just want to give it a shout out, and shout out to all the grots you have working on the bottom of it that are nice, sticking out in very bright green. And sticking out, let's give a shout out to us, our own shameless plug to our WAAAGH Tactics objective marker. So we got on objective marker boys that just came out. Let's see how they do. Let's see if you guys get them and get stuck in. So they're bright, at least as in the colors. Green is bright. The logo is very green and vibrant and colorful. And then the black's just the objective marker went with black because we thought people with their own bases probably like to see their base stick out more than anything else on an objective marker. So shout out to our objective marker. Hopefully you guys find them in our website.
Yeah.
Anything else, David?
Yeah, links in the description on the channel page and on this video. And yeah, we hope you guys like it. We'd like to, if you have any feedback, we'd love to hear it.
And that's it. Thanks for that. Now we move on to another paint competition. Another Deff Dread. Now, this isn't an actual second edition Deff Dread, but this someone converted up a second edition Deff Dread because they really, really appreciated it so much. So they said right away, this is my boy Ham Dog. He said, my Kitbash recreation of a second edition starter cardboard cutout Deff Dread. So much fun. So he intentionally went out of his way to recreate this. He put a side-by-side picture of it for me. I thought he did a super freaking great job. He even has the banner like we were talking about before. It has its weird own silly art with like a Bushuda and with like orc skulls and stuff like that. So very, very good. Love to see it. Really, I think he did a good job. Like, it's hard to see in some of these pictures, guys, how people do a good job on the metal. But if you look at his claw right there in the front, he did give it a metallic claw look. It's just not overly done or shiny or rusty or weird. So he did a great job on all that and all the skulls in there. So I wanted to give this one some shout out, some lessons. Some shout out and some love. Sorry, I meant to say. He said, I feel these shares are good lessons to us, newer to us, new to us. This as well. Sorry.
To us, newer to us.
Yeah. David.
Yeah, I'm gonna read Aaron's comment. He's asking, can you show us how to buy those? Maybe enter your credit card info.
Okay, and
well, we don't own credit cards, Aaron. So if you want to contribute to the stream and hand us your number, we'll gladly do it.
Also, I like your social security, blood type, and firstborn, please. Thank you. So yeah, shout out to. He said my objective marker collection must grow. Yeah, I seen yours. Your objective marker looked cool in person. We naming a movie for each Deff Dread. Oh my gosh, sure. All right, Soup, you go first on this one. So yeah, shout out to my boy Ham Dog for his recreation of a second edition Deff Dread. He went for the classic art too, the checkers. He did really, really good. I love that across the body. The banner that he had a custom built together somehow looks really freaking sick. And just all together, great job. 10 out of 10 in my heart. And Soup decided to call this the Kill Bill Deff Dread. So shout out to Ham Dog. Whoa! Now we have one of our boys, Deff Dreads, and we have a beautiful blue scheme with a white face. So I really like this one. This is from our Get Aaron. So Aaron and his paint scheme, like I always said, it surprises me that he's a good painter because he's also a good troll, you know. So it was great to see that. What I was gonna say is I really do like how he gives it a weathering and he goes through and hits all those little weather marks that they like where there's been dings to the paint, to the metal from getting hit from stuff. It's a really crispy blue with good edge highlighting. What were you gonna say? You gonna say something? Sorry, I don't want to.
Oh no, yeah, that weathering just makes the black pop out more, which also in hand complements the blue, and I like how it blends in together. I'm a big fan of your paint scheme.
Yeah, dude, you do a really good job. Like your paint level is right there among some really good painters. Like I don't know if it's your camera sucks. I'm just kidding. But you're right there along like really good painting. I think your weathering and stuff sticks out. If I have to be critical on you, because I have to be critical since you're already at the level where you're really good, is your claws when everything else looks so good and how it's done, like highlighted, edge highlighted, hit with some damage and some chip. It has depth to it. Your claws kind of fall flat because it looks like you just put the color. What's that color? Like the Necron alloy and the metal. It looks like you just kind of let them be with a little bit of non-oil or something. I think you can hit the next level on a detail to that. Not sure how you want to approach it since you're the one with the creative energy and clearly you do a great job, but I think that's literally the only thing that's missing left over on your paint because everything else looks so good how you do it. If that makes sense. Does that make sense, David?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? I would say your metals, like those little bit of places like your mufflers and your little metal pads here and your claws, get them to like that next S level of like a little bit more chipping or some kind of highlight to it or weather. I don't know how well you would do to it necessarily that would fit with your scheme. But once you hit that, 10 out of 10 paint job right there because it's already right there at the border where there's no way to talk bad about that. Just to emphasize even more on some of the look. Your rockets along the side even looks good. Like he has a spin to the rocket on the front of it where he gives like a swirl pattern.
That's awesome.
So like I'm saying, all the other stuff you have done is really good. It's the other stuff's done so well that something like a basic canoptic alloy, like Murder says, sticks out a lot. And I would say that's the only thing that I would ever say about that. But shout out to Aaron because it looks super good, beautiful. Love your paint scheme. Love the weathering you put on your models and the attention to detail and edge highlighting. Great job by that. Now, no lazy work done from you. Shout out to my boy Aaron. And speaking of shouting out for being bright and out here, we have
chunky Deff Dread here.
We have a chunky one from Silver Pants Blue. He said, "This is my Bad Moons Deff Dread proxy, modeled by Puppets Wall." So it is a proxy from a different, model making company. I just thought he did a really good job on the blue for the weapons, and I thought he did a great job on the yellow. This looks like it would be like a box art type of art for what he really did on this, right?
Right.
You can see there's like levels and shades to it. Like it almost looks like there's curvature to all this armor, right? That it's been bent on every single edge of it. Even the basing, it looks like that's, you can see a little bit of dust up on the metal from the bottom up that it slowly got more rusty and looks better from the bottom. So at first this model did go over, past my look because it wasn't a GW model. But once David and I sat down and looked at it a little more, I was like, that looks crazy because it does have a head right there that looks in the middle with its weird eyes glowing with that green. Then that chest plate it has is just a huge big chest plate. The guns are crazy awesome. Almost looks like a grot turret could be there on top. So the paint job, super really good, really good here.
Yeah, his weathering's on point, like on every aspect of this model.
Yeah, this model was definitely one of my favorites when it comes to just pure paint allure to it. I would say the one thing that maybe this is just my lack of the eye for the art. It looks almost too clean to the point that it comes off as like one of those clean comics. I don't know what it's called, where the comics are like really vibrant in color. Does it make color? No, it's like it's this type of art design, and I do know it for what it is. But I think that for 40K and Warhammer models, I don't know how if I love it as my number one favorite. So it looks very clean, very nice. But and that's almost too nice, I think, for orc stuff. Does that make sense to anybody? Maybe chat, let me know what you guys think. Because then it almost gets like a little bit of like a AdMech kind of feel to it, where it starts looking like a very high-tech, potent, Necron-y, colorful, glowy type of metallic metalwork. And this kind of borderlines it just a little bit between the pack and the shoulders and the arm gauntlets. So just a little too clean and on the verge of AdMech and Necron kind of styling. It's a good mixture of both.
I mean, his backstory of his army could be a orc tribe that gave themselves to the machine gods. I don't know.
No. Gork and Mork only. Want to hear none of this backstory. You're blasphemy, chaos, Crumpin' boys. You know, Crumpin' David just for saying that.
Where do you get all these shiny grubbins from?
He looted a Necron tomb world. All right. Other than that, I would say it looks great, guys, but there is such thing as a little bit too high tech, fancy, beautiful blue. If you check out this picture in our Discord, you can see he did a lot of work on all over it. There's when it comes to paint skill and everything, this is top tier. Excellent job by Silver Pants Blue. I would just say for my orc personal how I feel about it, a little bit too clean, a little bit too bright, but very much within the level of someone capable of winning paint competitions. If I did this for something that was a little bit more bright, it might be would win. If it was going for something like, look for them if the competition was the most brightly schemed AdMech Deff looted thing, then maybe it would go. But as for baseline orc stuff, I felt like it was a little too bright for me. What do you think?
I was reading that comment.
Oh, what?
I'm not familiar with what is cell shading.
I have no idea. But cell shading is probably what they're doing for getting the cannons to look like that. Okay. But shout out to my boy Silver Pants Blue. He has a video on IG, I believe, and other stuff like that. So he has a whole style for this, and he's an excellent painter. So find him on Discord. Great job, great entry. I appreciate you, Git. So now we move on to and Jay says, I think this is my favorite one so far. Yeah, dude, I think it was one of my favorite ones so far too. Because those guns were on point, like a lot of you guys were saying. Yeah. And then this person right here, they implemented 2 Deff Dreads into one, which isn't proper for a paint competition. Because then there's no one's really trying to win. But I just thought I'd show them off anyways, just because they're cool little entries. Obviously, you weren't really trying to win if you put 2 different ones out there without giving multiple pictures for each. So it was just a shout out to your Deff Dreads for, we'll say, Gork and Mork. I like the metal look on one of them and then the dusty, dirty look on the other blue one. So shout out to that. I appreciated the entry.
Yeah, it looks good.
Now we have another entry. So I was looking up to get David really likes this one. What?
Cell shading is what you were trying to call out, right? With the comic book style.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. So someone answered me earlier, if you're watching this, as to when I said the comic book style of artwork. Someone verified it's called cell shading, is similar to comic style artwork. Black outline shades, and highlights. Okay, yeah, thank you. It is called that. It wasn't exactly that. You're right. Now that you said exactly what it looks like, but it was close. But thank you, Kyle. I appreciate you, buddy. Nice to see you. So David, then we have this competition entry from Gas Burglar. So what do you think?
Yeah, he's got a lot going on here. Definitely appreciate the checkered pattern, especially the red and black on the right shoulder.
This Deff Dread looks like it has more hours on it than my Skyrim account. You know what I'm saying, dude? This looks like my boy went through every detail of this model 5 times. Like, he gave it its original layer of what it did, then he put a highlight to it, then he gave it some weathering, then he gave it some oil, then he licked the oil off meticulously himself, and then he, added some more edges, highlighting again. Dude, great job, Gas Burglar. This one is up here. Probably, I think we're actually getting close. So we're actually getting close here to our top 5. I would say we're at, right. So I think we're at
Maybe top
1,
four?
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I would say Gas Burglar right here, buddy. From here on forward, to anybody watching, these are my top 5s. A lot of them were already good that we went going forward, but these are my top 5. Gas Burglar just made it into my top 5. I think he did a great job. There's so many layers to it. I would say, if anything, that might be the downfall just slightly, is that there's so much going on that in a picture I can't identify and relate as much to the best parts of it. But I can see that this just has so much great work done to it. Really good orc work look done to it. It has the hazard colors, the checkered colors, the red patterning, the rustic. This was just super, really great done job. I think these top 5, any of these guys on other days could have also just won any other paint competition that we go through forward. So I hope you guys don't get discouraged if you're not a winner, because I think any of these guys could have won any paint competition on these final 5. And Gasberger did great. What happened, David?
Wapple's comment.
Wapo said, love the rust, need a tetanus shot just looking at it. Yeah, right. And I think, like I said earlier, I think that's the only thing that stopped it for me from being like number 1, is because when you go and look at a Golden Demons winner type of model, there's always that one part or theme of the model that sticks out and grabs your attention most. For this one, a lot is just so much going on that nothing really gets the limelight.
Right.
Nothing gets the attention. Nothing gets to stand out enough. So it just makes it so it looks really, really cool, really sick. Imagine just the whole table of these would look immaculate. A whole display board of these would look groundbreaking. And yeah, it has like a Badlands look. Great job, Bad Burger. Top 5. Wapo nailed it. You need a tetanus shot looking at this. And Spanky said the weather effects washes out the focus. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You nailed it, Spanky. Thank you. Good way to end it there. But shout out to Gasburger for that one. Beautiful model. Now, and this model is another one that I really liked that I thought was very different too. So this one was very black metal look. And this one I have another more up close picture just because I thought it was so off the wall that I just wanted to show it off. Because it's bold. This is very bold. This one was put from David Christian, you can read that.
Lime Yin Limbo.
Yeah, Lime Yin Limbo, aka Chris. So this one I wanted to give attention and love to, not only because I thought it was actually really cool because he put good pictures up. If you want to look at more of the pictures in the Discord to get more of attention to detail, but it's a very unusual attempt and look from a model, right? Yeah. Right here is another picture of it where he comes in, gives it another little look where you can see it has scuff marks and breaking off and chipping of the paint and a little bit of blue to it. He has another look on this side. It's really hard to get something that's dark next to another thing that's dark to look less dark. So as for creativity, as for what he was trying to do and get it done, this one was another one that I really liked a lot. It was a unique look with good, I think, kind of forethought when he started to put colors and things together. I would wonder as to how this would look actually in person, in theme with other armies and other things as a whole, like the rest of his army and how it would look. So shout out to that. And the fact that you have like a blackout black with your pictures of a black model, was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
right?
because you can still see.
And you can still see everything. So I thought that made it pretty interesting and unique. The very subtle blue is really sick. I mean, if you even look at this weapon right here on this flamer he has here,
three different colors.
Use 3 different colors on the end of it to show that it's kind of been burning, even from being a black thing. And then the sides that he doesn't want to be too dark, he has, on the barrel on the back red, little shoulder pad, some of the pipes, some of the bands he made brown. So I thought this was really cool, very sick, different, unique model. Shout out to my boy. There's the name.
Lime Yin Limbo.
Lime Yin Limbo, for his very sick model. Now we're getting down to the top 3. So coming in at number 3 is this Deff Dread that I guess was told to me that it was like a salvage saving project. And this is from Hando Demando. I love that name, dude. He wrote me a big thing in Orcish a little bit, but I don't, you know, you can see it in Discord. I'm not going to go all through it. But he said they found this model without arms and legs. He was all messed up. They told him to haul it out and take it to the mech boy and the pain boys to try to fix it. So they sorted them out and they got them all proper killing ready. So you can see he actually has a different kind of arm on it with the axe. And then he put it that nice, what is it, a space wolf type of look?
Yeah, some sort of like ice axe, frost axe.
Yeah, so he pretty much took a frost axe here. So
then he even added like some orc bits at the end of it to kind of give us.
Yes, he did. You're right. That's exactly what he did. That's very common for orc bits. So what he's saying is our boy Hando Demando took this. He had to fix it. It was missing some arms. So he pretty much took a like a Space Marine arm and I don't know, Deff Dread arm or something, made it an actual choppa for a choppa arm. And then he has it. So he has 3 melee arms and a rocket arm. Bada boom, bada bing. What I really love about this model is one, that it's green. That it has a cool, very metal green at the bottom of it that's a little subtle. It has a banner, very uncommon for it to have a banner. It's standing on a pose. It has the heroic pose for a Deff Dread, which makes the legs look a little longer than I would thought it would look for some reason, right? It just makes it look a little taller, a little bit more uprightish. I thought all the different, look to the different like medals of the badges, the notches knocked out for his kill counter. He has ribbons from the generalship on his pad right there, that yellow and red little general pad. I thought looked really sick. The fact that the banner is really just 2 orc axes that are just side by side on top of the natural Deff Dread banner to kind of accentuate it was a really nice subtle touch to make him look even more sick. And then the weathering, you can see on the side of his leg here how there's chips of his legs that are taken out, but yet there's edge highlighting done to like the rim of his head, his forehead, and the Deff Dread as a whole. So this guy, he has like 9 pictures in our Discord for his Deff Dread. So if you want to check it out in the paint competition channel, it looks really, really sick, good. I could actually put up like 5 pictures or 6 of this model. It was pretty much right here that I had. These are my top 3 that we're going to go through. These last 3 that I have. I think on a different day, if I woke up, this could have been my winner. It was that close. So shout out to Hando Demando. I look forward to anything else that you save, salvage, or put into our paint entry competition. You did an excellent job, and I recommend that anybody that wants to see more, go into our Discord, check out the paint competition entry, and you can see Hando Demando's. He has like 9 pictures of this model. They're all great. Yeah, David?
Yeah.
I know how you like the heroic base.
Oh, yeah. This Deff Dread looks like it served some time in the guard with
what
the green.
The heck, we're changing the pictures for you. All right. Now we have another one of the top 3 paint competition entries, another Deff Dread. I will say I did have to expand the picture just a little wee bit because my boy Stoner331 put all of these pictures into one.
Oh, I got you.
Right. So it made it so I couldn't like take each one of these and show them. So you would have to check the Discord in here as well for this guy. But he did a great job as to he added like the 3D gas things, pipes coming out the side, the bottom of back of him. I thought were really, really good. He himself also, like we've seen on the other very rusty, weathered look, has the checker pattern underneath all of that, but then the eye sticking through, being very bright and bulbous, was really sick. The gas on top being nice, really, really done and kind of like a 3D look, makes it look really sick as well. This has a lot of flavor, personality. This Deff Dread looks like it's been kind of roaming a wasteland or roaming an area for a long time, kind of just racking up kills. And you were in the forest just looting and picking up some berries, and then all of a sudden the Deff Dread just creeped up on you, and it's exhausting, like old fumes from all the old fungus and moss that's been kind of growing on it, and then it started to burn again. So I thought it was really sick. What's so funny, David?
That's quite the image, dude.
Okay.
You're just in the forest picking some berries, and the Deff Dread runs up on you.
I want to know where are you for a whole Deff Dread to sneak up on you.
This Deff Dread looks like it's made out of rust.
Yeah, he was just, to me, dude, this Deff Dread looked like he was hiding in a tree, you know?
Deff Dread in a tree.
All right, that wasn't a great. That wasn't great. I'm changed. Looking at the Burger King menu here in the UK, and what is chili cham, bacon, and double Whopper meal? I don't know either, Henrita. That's amazing.
Odd.
That's amazing. That sounds like you guys are getting lit out there in the UK with that kind of crazy menu item on BK. Yeah, so this Deff Dread, I really loved it. I thought you did a great job, Stoner. When you guys do put these pictures like this, where it's kind of hard to kind of break down and see little bits, it makes it harder for me. I mean, me personally, I can kind of see them still on the computer when I click them, but when I present them here, it makes it a bit harder for the use. So I thought you did a great job here with distinguishing all the different rustic looks. You can see that there was an old pattern like in the back of the Deff Dread's head. Another really rustic one where I think the only thing that kind of kills it a little bit too much is the fact that it's too rustic, where it tones it out, like someone said. What?
He's here. Chat.
Oh! There he is, Aaron Stoner. He goes, "Thanks, lads." Shout out to you. He put LOL. So like we said, I think someone who said that, who Spanky said that before. He said the weather effect washes out the focus. I would say a little bit too much. This one holds it a little bit better because there's a bit brighter areas and such. Like you can see the teeth, the bottom of those big tusks, they're still white.
Yeah.
Checker's still white. All that stuff is done really, really good. So this one was really, really good. This one came up pretty much second place for me. Top 5, top 3. You guys all really came really close. So shout out to you, Aaron Stoner, on this. I hope to see more on your paint competition. Hope to see more done by you because you did a great freaking job, mate. So now we move on to the final winner. And here going forward is we're going to present our winner. This will be the winner of our second ever paint competition where it was a Deff Dread. And the winner is none other than our boy, Caleb1441 with his Deff Dread. So Caleb came in with his crazy looking Deff Dread. He won my heart and my soul in this one with its crazy, unique look of a mixture of pretty much a dark, almost black undertone with a yellow, different dry brushing, edge highlighting of this yellow look, followed by a very creepy, weathered face, and not to mention this sick grot doing work in the mech shop, in the bottom of the Deff Dread at the bottom of him, just getting stuck in, just there. So we have a couple pictures of the winner on entries because he did give us a few, and then because he's the winner, we're showing more of them. But his tusk being all messed up and kind of like molten, broken down, a little bit of like you can see they've been hit with fire and they're kind of melted off and being hit with damage. I thought he did great. It's not just weathering; it's like you can see it's rustic as well.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that he just chipped off some paint; as he made sure that was individually like a rusty look. The back of the Deff Dread here, you can see that he still kept the look of red cables, red wiring, to give everything their own unique design, but it doesn't take away from the allure of the model and what it's actually going for. A lot of edge highlighting put into this one, a good amount of dry brushing put into this one, and just really good eye as to where he wanted everything to go on this one. So he won my heart for this paint competition, though it was really hard. A lot of the guys did a really great job. This was just a mixture of he took the, what you see as typical dirty, dusty, decayed orc items, but then gives them some life and some brightness to them, some character and some weather battle damage, and at the same time giving a nice little grat who's doing some work as a cherry on top. So this guy won overall best for me, even though there's a bunch of them that were really done really well. A lot of you guys could have won different paint competitions, and I recommend you go forward and you keep putting entries in. So shout out to Caleb for winning this, our second ever Wall Tactics paint competition. You, sir, have won yourself a set of dice that will get to you. So make sure you pop in the Discord and send me your info so we can get that out to you.
Yeah,
David, any words?
congratulations, man. This is a beautiful model.
Yeah, and you were one of those guys who has always been involved in our hobby competitions and our paint channels in general. So I'm glad you put this guy forward and everything and did some extra work. So thank you everybody for joining us for our second ever Wall Tactics Deff Dread paint competition. Whoa, hold on. The Legend Smith said I didn't make the cut at all.
Oh.
Excuse me. Hold on. I have this up right here. I'm looking right now. Let's see. So, David, do you want to give me announcements? I'm gonna look right here, Mr. Legend. You there better be some in here that says you're not in here. But David, do you want to give any shout outs to anything?
One thing we got in the works is Baron of Dice is working on our own custom dice. They should be out like in eight more weeks, we're hoping. And yeah, we'll let you guys know. We're pretty excited about that. And going forward, those will be the dice that we'll be handing out to the winners of these competitions. So just be on the lookout for that.
And be on the lookout for our next paint competition.
Oh yeah, the next paint competition. So
the Legend, if you're saying the Legend where you put double, you actually did make the cut. Yeah, I put both your Deff Dreads in there. So you're wrong. You're wrong. I put both your models, did your Deff Dreads in there. I remember you have to at me, and you did. I got it right here.
And yeah, we showed those.
Yeah, with the gray teeth, and then the blue one with the white face. So I got you, dude. Trying to, man, you see this guy trying to call me out. You guys see that, chat? You see that? I was on it. I was on that like a bum on a ham sandwich. All right. So be on the shout out for our next paint competition. Should we announce it now, or should we announce it?
Let's let the people know that are here, and then I'll put a post on Monday.
All right. Well,
you want to pull up the calendar just so we can?
Yeah, I'll pull the calendar.
So this starts Monday.
It starts Monday. It'd be the 29th.
Give 3 extra days.
And
then we're looking at the 23rd, because there's 5 Fridays.
We can do the 23rd.
23rd?
Or 30th. What do you want to do? 30th?
I mean, either way.
Let's do... Sorry, I should have thought of this already. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 30th, because these, I think these dice take this. The model I want to do is
yeah, it takes a little more.
So what I want to put forward for this week's paint competition, guys, is, and maybe you guys can correct me here in chat while we're here. I didn't know if I wanted to put one specific type of these or any of them, but I was gonna say orc buggies. So orc buggies is the one I want to go forward with next. Did you want me to be a specific type of orc buggy? Or I think all of them, because there's so many different kind of orc buggies. I think that'd be weird to just pick one.
Yeah.
So the next paint competition is going to be orc buggies. You get give Cult of Speed some love, get off the meta, get you guys involved and happy to paint on something else and get stuck on painting something else as we move forward. So all you guys that got your nice Cult of Speed ready to go, maybe it's a little dusty, or maybe you just got the models and you haven't got them worked on. Let's get stuck in, lads. Let's get your buggies on the paint on the buggies. And get things stuck in. So going forward, guys, we'll you already did the announcement for that. We have the dice coming, we have the objective markers, and we're going to be putting forward some more detachment videos to work on the different detachments that where you guys keep playing them in the new Nexus. Some top units from either WTC or Orcs using as a whole. So look forward to seeing that. Orcs have made their appearance on the world stage. So let's look at how the top performing players in the world utilize our favorite faction in the meta as we witness the rise of the green tide. And don't worry, Jay, you're getting close with that with the Copta contest. Not yet, but soon. So that's it for our second ever paint competition. We appreciate you, but there's always one thing to keep in mind is don't cross our wall, because we not get